What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we are going to be bantering about the state of the 2023 Houston Astros. Now, before I get into breaking down this franchise, we have a corresponding article up on laracuenteledger.com in which we discuss everything we're about to go over in this video. So make sure you check that out. The links are in the show notes below. So when we look at the Houston Astros, we begin with the major acquisitions. Now, that major acquisition for the Astros was Jose Abreu. When you look at what this Astros squad is, it's an absolute juggernaut. Not much was really needed from this squad to be able to build themselves up even further than what they already are. Jose Abreu was the one spot that they could upgrade. First base has been something that has been held down by Yuli Gurriel over the last several years for the Astros, but in my opinion, while older, Abreu is a better fit and a better personality, a better presence in that lineup for Houston. I think that there's an opportunity that Jose can absolutely have a monstrous campaign like he had a couple seasons ago in his MVP season of 2020. I think there's an opportunity that the Houston Astros could even get better, which is a scary proposition, by adding Jose Abreu. Now, the next section that we're examining is the significant injuries. Lance McCullers Jr. has been perennially hurt for the Houston Astros. This is a guy that when he is on is capable of really dominating in a very different way to most other pitchers. A very curveball heavy approach is McCullers' MO. However, because of his fact that he's been very much an injury-prone player, the Astros haven't been able to rely on him as much as they would like. If they can get McCullers healthy, this is just another dynamic arm that has been able to be developed through Houston Astros analytics system and player development squad. I think there's an opportunity that if McCullers can prove he is healthy, that this is a guy who can easily vault up into the top 15, top 20 in the Cy Young race. I think that there's an opportunity that if McCullers, and again, it is a very big if because this is a player that has not really proven that he can play in pitching 30 games, take 30 starts for the Houston Astros in a consistent way. But if he can prove that he is healthy, Houston becomes even more of a World Series favorite than they already are. Now, one of the reasons that Houston is able to withstand some of the losses that they have with McCullers and the loss of Justin Verlander in free agency is because of their top prospect, Hunter Brown. When you look at this player, this is a doppelganger of sorts for Justin Verlander. Being able to pitch next to him last season in 2022 really served a very strong foundational piece, in my opinion, for Hunter Brown and the Houston Astros. I think that while you're not going to put the pressure necessarily on him to say, hey, go out and be Justin Verlander, just being able to go out and kind of mimic that spot is really going to be a guy that is going to help Houston tremendously, in my opinion. I think that putting him in the back end of the rotation is going to allow him to just grow and develop at the major league level. For Houston, they've been able to do a tremendous job in building up pitchers and position players for that matter. But being able to go out there every 5 days is going to be something that really allows Houston to maximize what they have in their top prospect. Now, when it comes to bold predictions, this may be the boldest of them all, but to say that the Astros are going to lose in the American League Division Series is the claim we are making. Yes, it may sound like sour grapes coming from a Yankee fan, but in my opinion, I think that the Astros are going to go into this season as the heavy favorites. I also believe that there's going to be competition coming out of that American League West that they're not yet really prepared for and haven't seen over the last several years. I also think that there's going to be teams in the battle for the wild card that may be able to push the Houston Astros in a very serious direction. I think that for the 2023 season, Houston is going to find themselves in a position where they may not have that same edge that they had prior to the start of the 2022 season. This now is going to be that quote-unquote World Series hangover that may follow them into this season, and for that reason, we claim they're going to lose in the division series. Now, when it comes to the divisional rankings predictions, the Astros are number one. I mean, it's going to go without question, in my opinion. I also believe that the Astros are going to have the number one record in all of Major League Baseball in 2023. I think they're going to run away with a very strong presence in the division. I think that they're going to be able to have a comfortable lead by the end of September. And when we hit the postseason, they are going to be the number one team heading into and the World Series favorite contender. Now, as I just said, I do believe that they're going to find themselves on the losing end of the division series based on the World Series hangover and maybe not having the same necessary edge and drive as some of the other teams that are going to be chasing them. But there's no doubt about it, for the course of the 162-game season, the Astros are going to win the American League West. And when it comes to grading out the pitching staff, this is an A overall franchise. Again, being able to lose the reigning defending American League Cy Young Award winner and arguably having a better pitching staff stands to reason just how deep and potentially powerful this pitching staff can be for the Houston Astros. I think that it's a full-scale assault from start to finish, and the Astros have done it better than just about every other team in baseball. I think that going into the 2023 campaign, they're going to have a very strong rotation, a very strong bullpen, and the depth to be able to withstand any significant loss in either one of those two places. So overall, the pitching staff gets a grade of an A. Now, much like with the grading of the pitching staff, the offensive lineup is also getting an A. To me, this is going to be one of the best teams that we're seeing in all of 2023, and that's not a bold claim to make. I think that you have an opportunity to see high quality caliber players, all-star caliber players at just about every single position on the field for the Houston Astros. And that's saying a lot because there's a ton of tremendous players throughout the course of the Major League Baseball season. On each and every team, there's at least one all-star obviously represented in the all-star game. But to me, the Astros have a team that is capable of producing all-star players at each and every position just about. So for this offensive lineup, they're going to be extremely strong, really potent and dangerous, and with that, they get an A overall grade. Now, when it comes to grading out the offseason, this is the only somewhat blemish on the Astros line, and it is a C+. I don't think that Houston had to do much. I started off this video saying such. The addition of Jose Abreu is a very good move, a solid move, but I think for Houston, it's going to be the only thing that may come back to bite them. I don't necessarily know exactly how much more from their farm system they're going to be able to push up. Yes, it's going to be a very good farm system, arguably the best farm system. But I don't know if necessarily Houston wants to start the clock on the next wave of players that they have to start figuring out what to do with. You're also going to be dealing with now a level of concern with the injury to Jose Altuve and missing him for the first possibly 8 weeks of the season. How are you going to address that? By not bringing in more players, more veteran guys to maybe potentially compete for a spot in this lineup, you now have to question what the depth level at the major league level is going to be for the Houston Astros. Yes, they're going to have a ton of guys in the minor leagues that are building their way up and working their way up, but how many are at or close to major league ready that you can just plug right into the order? I think that for Houston, the only slight blemish, and again, very slight, is I don't think that they did enough this offseason to kind of withstand some of the injuries early on. I think that they're going to allow their young players the opportunities in the minor leagues to continue to grow and develop, something that they do extremely well. But it's going to be interesting to see how Houston handles the loss of Jose Altuve with this move. Now, as we grade out the franchise, it's an A overall. I think that when you look at what this organization has become, this is a juggernaut, a powerhouse, whatever adjective you want to add in there for this organization as being one of, if not the best in baseball. There, to me, are no real weaknesses on this roster, on this lineup, in the pitching staff, and there's an opportunity that they could get even better throughout the course of the 2023 campaign. I think that there is a lot to really enjoy if you're a fan of the Astros with this roster. I think that there's a lot to look forward to and be hopeful about if you're a fan of the Houston Astros. Now, that being said, if you're a fan of anybody else in the American League, in baseball as a whole, you have to be fearful of this lineup and not necessarily completely afraid that they're going to just run away with everything, but you have to have that respect, that reverence for this organization, because they have proven time after time and at bat after bat, year after year, that even following all of the issues of 2017, they are now so far past that we can no longer look at that same team in the same way. This is a completely revamped team, a completely new lineup essentially, and there's an opportunity that this team could go down as one of the very best dynasties in baseball. They have an opportunity in 2023 to become the first back-to-back World Series champions since the 1999-2000 New York Yankees, something that we have not seen happen in Major League Baseball. The Astros have that opportunity, that potential, that ability to be able to do such things. So it's going to be interesting to see how they shake out, how they bring themselves through the 2023 campaign, heading into the postseason and seeing if they can do what no one has done for over 20 years. But I want to hear from you. Let me know, baseball fans, Astros fans, let me know. How are you feeling about your team's chances in 2023? Where are the low points? What are the high spots, the bright spots that you're looking at for this 2023 roster? Let me know all that down in the comments, or find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball, and we can keep the conversation rolling. If you want to find out more from us, head over to our other social media outlets on Instagram and TikTok at Baseball Banter Broadcast. You can also follow our website, Laracuenteledger.com, where we come up with new articles daily, mostly covering the world of Major League Baseball as well as some other topics. But if you want to show even more support beyond that, you can head over to our merchandise shop, baseballbanterbroadcast.com, where we have a ton of promo codes that you can use to save on some banter merch to be able to rep the channel. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell for post notifications, as most of our audience is not yet subscribed on this YouTube channel. So we are continuing to try to grow this baseball community, and by hitting that subscribe button, you continue to help us build this channel up. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast listening platform, I thank you once again. Leave a 5-star rating and review, as for the same reason, it helps us continue to build this baseball community here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next broadcast when we banter about baseball. Peace.